Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Glauser. I am the founder and CEO of Techtonica. I'll be talking about how to be inclusive of class straddlers. So just in case anyone doesn't know, what is a class straddler? It's someone who grew up in a blue-collar situation and now lives a white-collar lifestyle. And there are quite a few in tech, as you can imagine. So my story is I grew up in a large blue-collar family, so I'm a class straddler, hello. And I always loved computers but didn't really know what the career options were. And then about 5 years ago, I learned to code and got a job in tech, and it was super empowering. I tripled my income within a few weeks of finishing the program that I did. And that was really great, but it was also kind of like learning a new language or moving to a new country. And I think we don't talk a lot about class, but I think we should, because tech is great and it's booming, but we're also causing a lot of displacement and income disparity. I wanted to share some numbers right here from San Francisco. In 94102, right across from Twitter, we have an income disparity that's much higher than the United States average and higher than Rwanda's. So since becoming an engineer, I have actually transitioned into being a founder of Techtonica, and we partner with companies to provide free tech training and job placement to local women and non-binary adults who are local to the Bay Area and who have low incomes. And you can ask me more about this later, but we always love more supporters. So through my work with Techtonica and through my own experience, I wanted to share some tips about class straddlers. So generally, these are very broad generalizations. We are very direct, and we have a hard time understanding language that's a little too diplomatic or that seems manipulative to us. So it's very good to give us candid feedback and not beat around the bush. And please forgive us if we're a little too direct or if we're like trying to figure out the diplomatic thing but don't quite have it yet. We're also often out of place. We no longer exactly belong in the same status as many friends and family members, so we don't quite belong there. They don't really have a great idea of what it is that we do professionally, and that's a little tricky. You go home and they're like, what's going on? And you don't even really speak the same language anymore. But then, on the other hand, we're spending our days at posh tech companies who have all sorts of fancy things to offer. So it's good to be aware of that. And I think one of the things that's really helpful to know is that we are very resourceful because of our backgrounds. So we're not going to be wasteful of company resources. And I will give the example that when people say, oh, we'll just take a lift there, I feel really uncomfortable with that, especially knowing that I can easily take a bus or bike. And so knowing that those fancy things are a little out of our comfort zone is really important. I also wanted to point out that a lot of people who are class straddlers end up financially supporting their families. So you need to be sensitive to that and aware that if you invite someone to like a professional meeting that's at lunch or something, you should probably offer an option to meet in a park and bring your own lunches or something so they don't have to worry about having to pay for that. Or make it really clear that you are going to cover it or that someone's going to cover it. That's really helpful. Also, we're very independent, as you can imagine. Because of our experiences, we have had to push away from what we've known without a really strong financial, without strong financial benefits or a social network. So that is a great thing because we can accomplish quite a lot, but that also can mean sometimes we forget to ask for help. So it's good to be aware of that and ask if they need help. Even better would be to ask how you can help. So I just want everyone to remember that class straddlers have had to work extra hard to get to where they are, and we are intelligent, ambitious, resilient, dedicated, and hardworking, and all of that is proven just by the fact that we're here in tech. So please try try to remember that and be welcoming of us. I truly believe that we can make tech look like this, and because so many underrepresented people are also from lower socioeconomic classes, I think we need to talk a little bit more about those socioeconomic differences, and I am very happy to do more of that. So some resources I wanted to share. These are 2 really great books. I nodded through the entire thing. Alfred Lubrano wrote one called Limbo, Blue Collar Roots, White Collar Dreams. And he interviewed hundreds of class straddlers and talked to them about what they have experienced and what they would like to see in the workplace. And then Ruby K. Payne and Don Crabill's Hidden Rules of Class at Work is another really great one. They're both a little bit old, but I think everything they put in there really applies. And as you read about people coming into situations where there are a lot of company perks, I'm sure you can imagine that the tech ones are even fancier than the ones they're talking about in these books. I just found out, for example, that Facebook has someone who fills up your car with gas, apparently. So that seems a little bit of overkill to me, but class straddlers would probably feel that same way. All right, so here is my email address. Please let me know if you have any questions or would like to support Techtonica, and thank you so much.